kicked off this week with a quick run to our second home, Fiberglass Florida, to stock up on some much needed supplies. Then in a rare stroke of luck, we scored a haul of Divinycell for the low. Next up, lifting the center deck again for what feels like the fourth time. Totally not tiring at all. We cleared out the support table to reuse it, only to bend the casters and set ourselves back a bit. And yes, we brought out the Gantry back out. We know it's not meant for this, but it got the job done, moving the center deck right where it finally needs to be. One of my favorite places, Fiberglass Florida. We got a whole haul of rollers, brushes, and things that we need. Time to get to work again. At this point in the build, we're always on the lookout for materials we can repurpose, and we got lucky. We found a local company here in Stewart that builds custom composite products, and they happened to have a stack of leftover Divinycell they were planning to scrap. After talking with them for a bit, they let us buy a huge haul at a great price. Perfect timing. This foam is going to come in handy for a bunch of things, mainly building out the sleeping platforms and interior structure, but possibly even some of the exterior work down the line. We picked up the cleanest pieces, loaded up the truck, and hit the road, feeling pretty stoked about what we just scored. So we just came up with a crazy plan that I think is going to work to free up some more space and allow us to actually work on this center deck a little bit easier. Kind of happy, excited for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually remove the center jack, put them on these 6-ton jacks, and we have 4 of them now, and we're going to be able to utilize the table underneath it so we can actually do some more work, more table space, more work, more cool shit. Yeah. All right, you guys, so we just got back from doing some rounds, and to be quite honest, I'm super excited because we got a screaming deal on some Divinycell, and not just normal Divinycell, it's perforated Divinycell, and it's also 60 pound density and 1.5 inch. So this stuff, dude, we are going to be able to make some really cool stuff. I can't tell you my sources. I'm sorry I'm gatekeeping here, but Jesus Christ. These are all offcuts from a manufacturer that didn't need them. And I'm telling you, man, if I told you how much we paid for this, you guys will gawk. Because we got probably like 3 or 4 sheets worth of Divinycell for like the price of one. It's that time again. We're getting the center deck ready to move again. And this time, it's all about doing it safely and cleanly. We started by grabbing the same heavy duty straps we used during the last lift, threading them back through the main structure and connecting everything to the gantry. Once the straps were in place, we double checked each connection point to make sure everything was secure, front, back, and sides, no surprises. Then it was time to start lifting. Slowly, steadily, we raised the center deck just high enough to free up the table underneath, which will move out in the next step. Not the most glamorous part of the build, but moments like this are key to keeping the workflow clean and the workspace flexible. Alright guys, as you can see, we got this thing lifted up. And so what we're going to do right now is we're going to put some wheels underneath this table so we can slide the table out. And then we're going to drop the deck itself onto some 6-ton jacks on each side to hold it up in place in the meantime until we find a better solution. And that way we can utilize this big table and also have the center deck itself lower to the ground so that we can work on it a little bit better. Up next is removing the big table from underneath the center deck. This table has lived its entire life underneath this structure since the start of this build. And now we've come up with new ideas that we can utilize this table to help us along this project of rebuilding this catamaran. So we take the 2-ton jack that we have here so that we can install some casters underneath. The idea is the casters will help us pull out this table a little bit easier than us trying to use brute strength. You all already seen in the past how that goes. After that, we were able to strap up using our loading straps that we've used in the past to move big objects. And luckily, I'm built like an ox, so I'm able to take my body strength and move these large objects. Otherwise, it'd be pretty difficult to do this. After that, we give it our first pull and we see a breath of fresh air. The table moved and we were excited.
It's working, you guys. It's working. I've not been able to move this table. Oh shit, this dog came off.
But it didn't take long for that excitement to lead to frustration. Yup, those casters didn't last long. And though they're rated for 200 pounds each, I don't think I can take Harbor Freight's word anymore because these things flattened like a pancake. So we bent them back in place as best as we can to utilize what was left of the life of these little casters to move this big table from underneath the center deck. And with the stroke of luck and a lot of persistence, we were able to finally move this out of place, finally releasing the center deck from its cradle. And yes, we had to move fast because the longer that this center deck is suspended in the air, the more dangerous it gets. And that's it. That's what's left of the fallen soldier, the little caster that could. Once we were done with that project, it was time to clear out the space to where the center deck was going to finally live. And lo and behold, though we already know we're not supposed to use the gantry in this fashion, it did the job that it needed to do and helped us move the center deck to its final resting place where we don't have to move it ever again.
Kind of easily find it.
Ready?
Yeah, I'll get like one step closer because that's how the sound's been going.
Can you see what's behind us though?
Yeah.
Alright, ready? Alright, so you can kind of see the craziness that we're doing. I know it seems crazy, but these are 6-ton jacks, and this is obviously not 6 tons. And what we're trying to do right now is to free up that table so that we can work on the other things like the longeron. So we're gonna drop this down now and hoist it down, and hopefully everything should be stable and leveled and where I want it, which is on that corner versus in the middle. So we have more space over here to work on the other items like the longeron. So wish me luck. And I know this isn't the most proper way to do it, but this is what we got to work with, y'all. So bear with us.
After battling the center deck between me and Sam, we were in no position at all to try to move this big old table by ourselves, especially after we lost our casters in the battle of lifting up the center deck. So we had to pull out one of our better tools, our big old truck, Big Bertha, in order to back her up and use her tow hitch so we can tow out the table into its final destination.
Now, we've got so much space to do all the little jobs you want to do. We were able to move were able to move the center deck to a different location. Now we have this space right here so that we can put the longer ROM and work on the longer ROM here freely. And we have access to the holes, access to the beams. Everything now will be lifted so that when we want to work on these objects, we have free reign to work on all the objects, which is killer.
Hello, can you hear me now? And now for you guys' favorite part. As you guys already know, and we know, we love doing this because we've probably already done it 3 times in the series, removing the longer ROM again. But this time, I promise you, it's going to its final location. The reason why we did all of this, removing the center deck, moving the table out to a new place, so that we had a clear space to work on this next item. I know we said we were going to try to move it indoors, but that ended up being a lot worse of an idea than we imagined. So we have to use our brute strength, and then we actually get Big Bertha involved as well to help us finish this out, because we can unfortunately not lift this thing up as easy as we thought it was.
Yeah.
Careful, right? Stay away from it.
Yes.
Well, you guys, I'm sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger, but you'll have to wait till the next episode to find out what happens and where we're at with this entire project. We've done so much so far. We were able to clear up the space and give ourselves so much room for our new activities to finish out this build. But as always, it's been a pleasure. If you like these videos, make sure to leave a comment below letting us know what your favorite part of the video was, or what your least favorite part of the video was, or what was stupid that we did. Always like and subscribe if you can, and remember, from the top of our hearts, we love all our big dogs all around the world. We'll see you at the next one.